Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
In this week's episode, Dave podcasts on his 60th birthday. We're not here to judge. But really, bruh, this is how you spend the day you begin your 7th decade on the planet? Of course, if you're going to do that, you may as well do it with one of your few friends actually older than you are. Break out the cream of wheat, Tylenol, and I say hi to America. Here are the youthful Dave and Juan.
And 3.
Number 2.
Followed up with a 1.
Woohoo!
America. Some days, even when it's your birthday, you show up to do the podcast.
That would be you. Happy birthday.
Thank you, America, and you are.
You're welcome.
Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Thank you kindly. Yeah, time
I tried to opt out for your sake, man. I said, go enjoy your birthday.
You did not try to opt out.
I told you it was cool if you needed to.
Okay, well, I'm
Said, don't cut your visit with your son short.
Well, he's having dinner with friends right now. Both my sons are having.
See how special you are.
Yeah, well, we did a so today is officially August 10th, the year of our Lord 2025 is officially my birthday. We did a little get together with very close family and friends yesterday, which was great. I should have put you in on the Zoom call, man. I didn't think about that. That'd have been perfect. It'd have been like, here's my best friends and my closest family and my best friend that I haven't seen in 4 years.
Yeah.
David Juan.
I commented on your wife's post. I said the best kind of friend, you never have to see them.
I read that well. The guy I probably speak to more than any other person that I don't have to work with on a weekly basis, and we have not been in the same room in 4 years. That's probably going to change quickly. I mean, you're going to be in Houston more often with your daughter coming up here.
Yeah, but I'm not coming to visit you or nothing.
No, we'll pop in. I know.
Which
is why we have a great relationship. Nor would I. Like if I was sleeping in Baton Rouge, I would say, hey, man, you want to meet at a restaurant or a hotel lobby?
Have a beer or something.
Man, listen, I am all about, I don't drop in on anybody's home. But that said, I have my younger son. It looks like, I'm saying that because he shared the text with me. They said, consider it yours. But it looks like my younger son is going to be having an internship at the station of our buddy Rick.
Is he? All right.
Looks like my son Abe's going to be interning with WAFB.
That's a good station, man. They really are.
CBS affiliate. And again, we're going to have to go back and pull this offline if something ridiculous happens. But he's met with him. He got a text from the sports director there, who's to best I can tell, a very cool guy.
He is. Yep. I've met him. I don't know him personally, but I've met him a number of times.
Right.
Jacques Doucet.
That's it. So still, it's one of these, hey, it's yours, but everything else, I don't want to. I probably shouldn't have said anything.
Did he drop Rick's name?
I don't. Well, actually, I think Rick was there when he met. So it kind of helps, But no, it's very
We
excited.
had former Nicholls alum Gary Pickle, but Gary retired recently from WAFB.
Was he WFB? So there you go, man. That's what I was telling my son is you got to keep that Nicholls State tradition going, man. Get the
Well, I was telling you off air. I hired a guy from Nicholls, and also started at the same time with a young lady from Nicholls, and they're just top notch. I am like impressed to no end. This guy started so they do orientation for 2 days. So he started orientation on Monday and Tuesday. They let out about 4:30 and tell him to go home. About 4:35, he meandered up to the second floor where I am, just too excited not to come up to the office. Stays there shooting a breeze till almost 6 o'clock. And I wanted to say, dude, I don't know who you think I am. I'll stay past 5.
The first thing I was going to say is, Juan, what were you doing there?
Yeah,
This
it's
6 o'clock.
I don't want to give you that impression early on, but this is let's make this a one-time thing.
We'll take this as your youthful exuberance,
Right,
and I want to
right.
encourage. I want to encourage you to be excited, but I
But
also
I don't
want to.
think I was ever that excited. And like I said, it makes me say, man, what did I miss out on?
I want you to be. I want to encourage you to stay excited and encourage you to have your excitement between the hours of 9 and 5. And
With an hour off for lunch.
that's all I'm saying. Unless you want to bring me up a diet Dr. Pepper and we can
Yeah, that's
sit and
good.
talk. Like,
Then we can chat.
so this is at the credit union.
This is
So
at the credit union, and then I got another young lady, the one who started with me, is also from Nicholls, and smart as a whip, and just already just knows so much, and she dogs me because I ask her the same question over and over again, and I say, yeah, you were mistaken that when I asked you this, you thought I wanted you to teach me how. I just wanted to know what.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
don't want to learn it. I'm gonna come
No.
to you every time I need to know.
Well, this is exactly this is old guys here, right? We and
Right.
I've officially joined your decade. I mean, I'm
Are
like,
you? Oh man, I didn't.
yeah,
I
this
thought,
is 60, bro.
dude.
I turned 60 today. Like as we speak, I'll show you. This is so they had the party. This was I didn't wear this. I said I was never going to drink enough to wear a sash. Happy 60th birthday. Oh yeah, my house downstairs right now, dude. I mean, 60 is the number, dude. They got 60s everywhere.
Yeah, when I turned 60, my wife asked me if I wanted a party, and I said, "Have you met me? Of course, I don't want a party."
Well, here's the deal, too. And I get it. It's a big deal. And
Yeah, it's a big one, man.
so sorry. It's one of those you kind of. Yeah, it's funny. My younger son said, "Oh man, you're gonna start you only 5 more years." I said, "What?" It says 5 more years till you start getting that AARP stuff. I said, "Bro, they start sending
Dude,
you
they
that."
send that to you like at 58 or something.
Oh no, man! I'm like 50, 55. They start sending you
Yeah.
that nonsense. But yeah, and my wife did. She's so I mean wonderful. She did such a nice job, and I was not the easiest guy to do this with because my answer to everything is like, man, whatever. I mean, whatever. I don't really want to do. I don't want to go anywhere. If you want to get like a room at a restaurant or something, I guess we can. But then that's sort of the pressure to. And I made the mistake. And she and I have been married 31 years, okay? Or yeah, we're working on 32 now. So I should know now. Yeah, I should be a little smarter with the communication as far as where I leave things. But I also think that she should probably pick up when I leave certain things. It means I either really don't care or I kind of don't care. That's usually my right.
The level of don't
The
care.
level of don't care, and when I care, I'll typically say it. If I'm going like, whatever. And then somewhere along the way, I guess I kind of made it sound like, oh yeah, we can do something at a restaurant or something big, or that I wanted a big party. And my thing was, I just didn't want to make you mad. I don't want to disappoint everybody else. But anyway, so we ended up doing something fun. And here's how I spent, well, today's my actual birthday, but yesterday, my birthday party, exactly like I wanted. You know what I did? I boiled shrimp. I grilled steaks. I grilled chicken and other things, and all before everybody got here. Like
Yeah, you served it up.
people started showing up, and the food was ready. I jumped in the shower, and it was one of the best birthdays ever.
Good, good.
Way too much cake. I think you got to pass on that. What one of the funnier moments was my one of my niece's boyfriends. No, she only has one boyfriend. So let me rephrase that.
One of your yeah,
The
the
boyfriend
boyfriend
of one of my
your
nieces. So
nieces.
he's relatively new to Houston. He's from out of state. Good dude. He's that young generation. They just kind of think they just sort of just say what's on their mind sometimes. So he's walking around. He comes in and he's getting food. And he looks up. He says, "You'd have sworn the dude like." I don't know the shock or bewildered look on his face. He's like, "You're 60?" And I mean, and he just went, "Wow!" And
That I'm the youngest looking 60 in the world. Guinness Book is going to be here tomorrow.
listen. I laughed and I said, "Well, yeah, kind of." And then he says, "You don't act 60." And I was thinking, I don't know that that's much of a compliment, man. I don't.
I
That's
tell people I'm old, but I'm immature.
I think think he meant it in a nice way when he
Yeah.
said you don't act 60. I'm like, well, how's 60 supposed to? I mean, I don't
How
know.
old is he?
Oh, geez, I don't know, 20,
Yeah,
24, 25.
well, how old's his dad? I mean,
Oh, in fact, I think I'm exactly as old as his mom. I
yeah.
think that's what he said. I'm like, well, there you go.
Yeah.
You know, what's the
Maybe his
alternative?
mom is not nearly as cool as you.
Right. Well, hey, shout out to all the people I graduated high school with and everything. You get that Facebook avalanche that comes in, which is cool with, the birthday wishes
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. But that's kind of funny when you're looking around milestone stuff, right? You're kind of used to, oh, we all turned 52. We all turned 54. Hey, we're 55 this year. But man, when you start getting those round numbers, like, dang.
Yeah, the anyone with a zero, and it wasn't hard for me. It just now when I turned, I'm 63 for those who
Oh, I
don't
thought you were
realize it.
62. Dang.
63,
right.
man. Coming up, I'll be 64 in December.
Whoa, look
And
out.
so when I turned 63, there was a part of me that said, yes, 2 more years. Come on, 2 more years. Then I took another job and I said, I can't just leave in another year and a
Can't
half.
do that. Well, I'm about to say, I mean, you are my hero on a few levels, and that's one of them. I even told that somebody the other day. I said, man, I got a friend who, and I thought you were 62. I didn't even know you were 63. I was like, and then here's what's funny, Juan. That's why you and I are good friends. We have no idea how old we are. You and I talk about being old white guys all the time, and we literally don't know actually how old we are.
Just generally.
Generally. But I told that it might have been to my wife. I said, yeah, who does that? Who at 60, I thought too, but 63 says, you know what? Let me go do something else for a little while. Let me jump into something new.
Right. Something I know absolutely nothing about.
The funny thing you have to do, and I do it myself now when I'm working with groups or I'm up there talking to, a lot of times I'm standing in front of rooms now and I'm talking oftentimes to like very senior managers in organizations and sometimes pretty high powered successful people, and I'm older than them.
Yeah.
It's really funny. Like, I'm gonna give advice to you young whippersnapper CEO, but you have to remember too, like what we thought of people our age
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
when we were in our 30s. Everybody was an idiot.
So but you never, even my parents. So my I don't know, my youngest son moved into an apartment last weekend. We're about ready to get done with my mother-in-law's house. So he moved out and I didn't help him with much. I'm talking about like a bed. And so that was, I don't know, Tuesday night, I guess I did that. And I just came home so exhausted. And then I told Joey, I said, we moved here 7.5 years ago. My dad is now 91.
91.
Which means he was 84-ish then. That dude helped me haul everything, man. I'm talking heavy furniture, upstairs, downstairs, out the attic.
Dude, here's the
I
difference.
moved a mattress and about died.
There's the difference. Your dad is a farmer.
Yeah.
You're the son of a farmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would seem like, that it was generations ago if you go by me.
And you grew up with a dad who probably did all the, the majority of the dirty work, the heavy lifting, I'm sure you were there. Like I said, I was the monkey. I was the
I was the guy who held the wrench wrong or, shined the flashlight in the wrong spot.
wrong. That's all we are. We all do that. But yeah, it was like I said, fun. I did not feel old yesterday or today, but yesterday's, the party and everything. And it's kind of looking around, you forget it's your party, right? You forget like, oh, I'm the guy that's I got some really nice gifts and everything. But they went all out. So my wife,
Nice.
my friend Beth, and I think Angela too helped with a bunch of this. All they get the big posters, 60 and whatever, and they did they got the big back in 1965, right? The year you were born stuff. Dude, I didn't feel old until I went over to the they said, "Oh, let's put on some hits of 1965." Right? You don't feel old until you start listening to music that was popular or came out the year you were born. All right. I Got You, Babe. It's on
Yeah, I
each
was gonna
year,
say it's probably like pre-Vietnam, like
right?
peacenik era.
That was it. So that was I Got You, Babe was one. My Girl, The Temptations. Dude, I'm as old as the song My Girl. You've lost that loving feeling.
Oh man, I like that.
Right. This Diamond Ring. Remember that one?
This diamond
This
ring.
diamond ring doesn't shine
Who
like
sang
you.
that?
Gary Lewis and the Playboys.
All right.
The
I
Birds.
think
Turn,
he
turn.
is he from here? No, maybe not. I
No.
don't know. He might have been from here.
Turn, turn, turn. The Birds.
I remember that.
Stop in the Name of Love. The Supremes.
Yeah.
Stop in the name. Help Me, Rhonda. Beach Boys.
By the Beach Boys.
No, and I gotta say though, I will. Yeah, I'm gonna say, well, some years are better than others. It's pretty good music here.
Yeah.
Sound of Silence.
Wow.
Garfunkel, and one of my favorites, Like a Rolling Stone, Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
There you go. The year I was born. Popular on television the year I was born was Bonanza, Gomer Pyle, USMC,
Shazam.
The Lucy Show.
Of course.
Lucy,
I'm on.
you got some explaining to do. Here's a show that I saw later as a child that I loved, The Red Skelton Hour.
Yeah.
Dude, do you ever remember? You remember that?
I do. I remember when it was black and white.
Man, listen. Children's out there, youngins, you have no idea who Red Skelton. I tell you what, I would watch that stuff now. Red Skelton was
Yeah, as a
funny,
kid, you called him Red Skeleton.
That's right. He was funny stuff. And some show called Run for Your Life. I have no idea what that was. But sadly, the president when I was born was Lyndon Johnson.
Yeah, well.
One of the worst presidents we've ever had. What else is going? Sound of Music premiered in New York City. Yeah. Just the Beatles perform. Let's see. There you go. Oh, here's an interesting one though. The average cost of a new house in 1965.
I'm gonna go with $15,000.
You close. $13,600.
My parents built their house in 1961 for $12,000,
Oh,
and they added on a room like in the mid 70s for about 30.
yep.
And let me tell you something, that room wasn't luxurious or anything.
Gallon of gas the year I was born was 31 cents.
It was a little high.
That's right. And here we go. Famous people born. I didn't make the list. I'm a little bit upset.
Well,
You know, they throw a poster up there of, notables born the year I was. No. So Chris Rock, Robert Downey Jr.,
okay.
Brooke Shields,
Wow. She's all right.
Dr. Dre.
Wow.
Dr. Dre is born the same year as me. And I know he's not on here is Johnny Resnick of the Goo Goo Dolls.
Dang.
That's right. We're making a face, Juan. You surprised people as old as I am
surprised. Look, well, I'll tell you what. You look better than Johnny.
now? No, well, depends on the angle you catch him. That's a good-looking man.
No. I'm just talking about his plastic surgery.
Well, he's had a bit of that, hasn't he, man? That's
Dude, if I was that good looking, I'd have sported that face all over forever.
No, man. We'll go with some wrinkles. Go with whatever. I mean,
I get a little Botox. That's all right. I'm all right with that.
whatever. But yeah, yo. So it's all. And then everybody sending in. Shout out to our buddy Don Graham. He sent me one. He said, "Dang, but I always love people that have to tell you how old they are, right?" They want to jump, he says, well, apparently he's 68. So, shout out. And happy early birthdays to my friend Raleigh, my friend Lonnie. I'm trying to think of who else has
And
birthdays.
your wife's either just passed or is just about to come up.
Just passed.
All right.
Not going to tell you her age. She's
I wasn't going to ask.
much younger than me. But there you go. So onward. That's what I told my wife today. I said, there you go. I'm trying to treat this as turning a new page. So that's new. Not changing everything, but I'm trying to have a more positive attitude about,
It's life, man.
spent my first 60 years trying to fix everything. Going to spend the next.
I told my wife today, I said, man, when Riley leaves, we just need to drink a lot more.
It helps.
Yeah.
You'd be lonely, man. Well, you got your son in town. You'll see.
Yeah, I don't see him often.
You might look for ways. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, good week. My birthday week, I went to Cleveland.
Yeah.
And I was there and I spoke at this thing in Cleveland and and it was a fine week. So any week that ends up, you go, you do something, nice time, you got home, everything's great. On the Monday, and I didn't realize this at the time, the group I was with had a reception, the opening reception at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which I've been to once before, a while back.
I've never been.
Oh, it must have been almost 15 years. I probably was there within the first, I know within the first 10 years it was opened. I don't know, but it was a while back. I didn't realize the group I was with, which was not a huge group, we probably had 150 to 200 people. We were the only people in the place.
Did y'all have it reserved?
I guess. I mean, I don't know. Either that or Monday nights are pretty, but we were the only people there. Yeah, I think so because it was a bar, and I like too. So they had sense. They gave us we had drink tickets, which is a good way to, and they were generous. They gave us like 4 drink tickets, which is that's a lot for most events. You know, they
one maybe two
maybe,
and cash bar after that.
I'm proud of myself. I was there for several days, and there was several events, and had all the coupons. And I didn't even go through all my drink tickets, dude. I don't know. I know. That's when I started realizing maybe I'm getting older. Maybe I'm not saying any wiser, but older. But the big display right now at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is Saturday Night Live. 50 years of Saturday Night Live. So it's some music, like I think most of it is stuff that had music.
The musical aspects of it
tied to it. Not so much the bands, although they showed a lot of the bands that played. Mm-hmm. There were a few things from some of the musicians, but a lot of it was the Saturday Night Live characters who did some type of music. The Blues Brothers, they sort of had like the mannequins with their
with their outfits
authentic.
And stuff.
Right, so they're the Blues Brothers, which was cool. They had
and Wayne's World.
They did have Wayne's World. They had Opera Man, Adam Sandler's Opera Man. They had the unitards that they wore for all the single ladies when Beyonce did that with Adam Sandberg and everything. The one that I kind of like, I was like, wow, look at this. It's kind of cool, was Cowbell. Will Ferrell's outfit.
Oh, dang. Uh-huh.
Yeah, Will Ferrell's thing for a cowboy. And it's funny, I even talked about that a couple of days later when I spoke. It's like, am I the only goober who gets a little bit too excited to be standing around other people's clothes? Like, it's really all it is.
But it's so iconic. And I don't know. I like stuff like that.
It is. They have one that they have the jacket from Born to Run, Bruce Springsteen's Born to Run album. They got that jacket. I commented about that. Bruce Springsteen must be a tiny man because that's not a very big jacket. One of the more iconic things they had, and it was there years ago when I was there, and I was impressed. So it must be popular enough they never took it down. Is it have a big album cover of Fleetwood Mac Rumors and Stevie Nicks' outfit that she wore on the album cover with the shoes there. That's there.
That's one of the best. I mean, that album holds up.
And the one that I joked about, I joked with the group when and I had a picture of it to show. I said, I like to watch people when I'm in these places. And I said, I got to be honest, I was watching a lot of you as you came up on this, and you'd have sworn you guys were walking up on the Shroud of Turin. Okay, it was Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal. The
white suit with the hat and everything.
The hat, yeah. So it's like, all right. So it was. I'm a goober that way. I'm like,
with the shoes there, I'm interested to know. I've seen stuff online that says basically the way that he would do that lean.
They didn't have that.
In the video was his shoes would hinge on to something on the stage.
Sort of like nailed to the, yeah. All right. I got no reason not to believe that. But, and then the funny thing was I looked at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has 6 floors. Now it's almost like a pyramid going up. So the 6th floor itself is basically, that's almost like the penthouse apartment kind of deal.
Okay.
It's a sizable room, but it's exponentially small than the first level. But they always have one display up there, and I say one display. It's basically 4 walls and a center thing, and it's almost like the spotlight. When I was there years and years and years ago, it was Bruce Springsteen stuff, and this time is Bon Jovi. It was Forever Bon Jovi, whatever. So I realized, okay, we're the only ones in here. I know nobody went to the 6th floor yet, so I just shot up straight to the 6th floor.
That was smart.
Yeah, I was totally by myself. And I'm just walking around this thing. watching the big,
Especially if you want to pay attention to the stuff and kind of geek out on some things.
the loud, they were playing live and like three different big screens above playing various live concert footage. And, you think back like, man, they played this in big, you know, I give him a lot of crap because, John Bon Jovi became a little bit of a little too political. He kind of fell in, not quite the John Cougar Mellencamp level of idiocy.
No,
But
I think he is more cause focused, so to speak. I mean, he did
yeah, but
like some restaurant where you eat free.
no, he does. It's Soul Kitchen or something.
Yeah.
He did something in Houma too after Katrina. He did some kind of some street in Houma, I think Bon Jovi Boulevard or something. I don't know what the story is, but I also heard later that there was some shoddy. It might not have been that one. It might have been New Orleans. It might have been Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt they got sued for that.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm mixing up my do good celebrities, but no, it was cool up there. I got the one that got me was the. I'll give credit to this. One of the coolest outfits, one of the coolest stage gear was that purplish leather Bon Jovi New Jersey long.
A long jacket.
Yeah, what do you call it? Not
I call it a duster.
a duster.
Yep.
Right, with the little not studs on and stuff. That so
Yep.
that was, I thought, man, it'd be cool to have a job where that's where you got to wear. Show up to work wearing that, and everybody screams. And then also they had the original T-shirt, the torn, cut off T-shirt for "Slippery When Wet," the yellow T-shirt that the girl wore.
Yeah.
That from the original album cover that he had to get rid of because apparently the record company said we can't
Too
put that
risque.
up. Too risque. But they had that, and they had it's good stuff. Good stuff. And to their credit too, this is something cool. And those of you that to get to the hall, and it's worth it. I don't even know what it costs to go in, but I'll say it's worth it because it's unique. But on the third or fourth floor, they got like some studio things set up, and they can do karaoke, right? But they got two live musicians there.
Ah.
Dude that'll play piano and whatever and guitar, or maybe get on drums or drum kit. So you play and you can do just like a straight on karaoke.
And I'm sure they're studio musicians, so they can play anything.
Pretty much. Or if you know how to play an instrument, you can get in
up
and
there with them.
you can get in and jam with them. I'm like, oh,
That's pretty neat.
yeah, I'll give credit to that. But so yeah, that was enjoyable time. And then
it's been a long time since I've been to Cleveland, and I can just remember sitting there on the river. I don't know, I guess it's the Ohio River that, a gazillion years ago was so dirty it caught on fire, and then it became like, the whole riverfront in Cleveland. And
I was on the lake. So all this
we can't do this in Baton Rouge to save our lives. But I walked to Cleveland Brown, whatever the stadium is, one time, and the wind was so strong.
Dude,
I could barely walk.
You're right on the lake. And by the way, Cleveland Brown Stadium, I think now I got a picture of it somewhere. Is it Progressive? No, it's not Progressive. Whatever the Huntington,
Whoever the sponsor is, or
whatever it is. I had to laugh because I've told the story before. I'm not going to tell it again. That I've spoken in 3 different NFL stadiums in my life, like not on the field, but in the stadium, the events in the stadium.
Right, they all have the rooms that you can,
One was at Gillette.
so
one was at New England, where the Patriots play.
Yeah.
They would not let me near the field. I mean, even dressed in my suit, I promised to take my shoes off. I could not get near the field. Denver, they sort of did something organized. They let us get down. We couldn't walk on the field, but they let us get near the end zone. We couldn't actually step on the surface, but we got down on the field. Cleveland, I gave a speech once in Cleveland. It was in the locker room, which is not a great place to give a speech, but the group was good. The speech is over, everything goes good, and we had another one coming up in a few hours, so I basically had a few hours to kill. I had to go back to my hotel or do something. I look around saying, well, until somebody stops me, let me see what I can do. I walked through doors that were not locked. I ended up in like a medical room. I look down a hallway. I see sunlight. Like, what is that? I walk down this hallway. Next thing you know, I'm on the field. I end up walking to the middle of the field, Cleveland Browns field, and I ended up calling my friend Kurt because I was just like, I had to have somebody. I have to tell somebody.
Right.
So I joked about this, right? About how you can tell a little bit about a franchise by how locked
their
up.
level of security.
not making this up. There's a young man that was there. He worked for a vendor or something at the conference I was at. I ended up sitting next to him at a table. I forget how I met the guy, but we met. All right. So the next day at another, whatever, the reception, I see him. He says, man, so I figured yesterday, because apparently he works out, He's one of these guys that works out, and you know how they work out? Because they tell you 10 different times about various workouts. But he went over to Brown Stadium. He said he wanted to see if he could get in and run the stadiums, and he did. He did. He said, yeah, oh, yeah. I was walk through there, something going on, but nobody stopped me. And I went and run stadiums, and I'm like, dang, Cleveland, y'all got enough money to pay some idiot.
Stuff in there that could be stolen.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, you fall, it's liability and stuff. It's like, and that's what I was telling him. I said, I was thinking, I said, so Cleveland's got enough money to pay Deshaun Watson a guaranteed $250 million.
I can't afford security.
Can't afford a security guard to keep people. Yeah, it's right there too. Until you, but I will give Cleveland credit, man. I'll shout out. It's actually a nicer downtown than you would expect for all the, it's all the Cleveland jokes and all the.
Yeah, and I think it's, it's a lot of times I think places that are the butt of jokes aren't really that bad.
Now, I'm sure there are some, but look.
Yeah. They can't compete with Baton Rouge and, or Louisiana and topping the charts in chlamydia.
Hang on. News flash. In the old days, I used to joke about this and shout out to my friends in Mississippi, because I've told this joke in front of Mississippi people, and I've spoken to a lot of stuff in Mississippi, that back when we were on radio, we frequently joked about God bless Mississippi, because at least when we know the list of really bad things come out, Louisiana wasn't always going to be the worst. Mississippi was always going to jump up and take one of those things away from us. But apparently, when it comes to sexually transmitted diseases, STDs, Louisiana has stepped up its game.
We are, I think, we're trying to get up to number 1 in gonorrhea.
Where are we in gonorrhea right now?
Well, we're number 2 in gonorrhea. Mississippi, I think, is number 1 in gonorrhea.
Come on, man. 2?
I think it's the chlamydia that's keeping the gonorrhea. People are probably taking, I don't know what you take for chlamydia, but maybe that's keeping the gonorrhea level down. So.
Okay, so number 1. So Louisiana right now ranks number 1 in chlamydia, number 2 in gonorrhea. Right. Now, I believe our friend Rick said that, and this is not funny, but I think, is Louisiana like the leader right now, like domestic violence?
I would be willing to bet. I think he did say that.
One's going to say, I don't have that data in front of me, Dave, but
I just agree with Rick.
Anecdotally, I could see that, but
why not?
So hey, but didn't our math scores apparently magically shoot up a while back?
I don't think. Yeah, I think.
Well, there was some doubt. I know.
Yeah, I think there was just the testing changed some kind of way or another. But yeah, that ain't holding. We had school started here this week, or this past week, I guess Thursday and Friday. And somewhere in Ponchatoula, which is just outside of Hammond, there was a 7-year-old who in carpool line with his mom was waving a pistol out the window, pointing it at people. So
a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
Well, now I wonder if this was a student on the way to school, or
I think he was in carpool line at his school.
He was just establishing from the jump.
Like, bro, it's the first day. I'm going to show y'all who's boss
from the jump. It's like going to prison. I mean,
I hope you got to hit somebody the first couple of days, or you done.
I hope never to go to prison, but apparently that's what you're supposed to do. Right. You
got to stab somebody,
punch the toughest guy, and
Yeah.
But that always, I guess that makes sense, but it never really made sense to me, man. Like, first of all, if it's the toughest dude in prison, that's not saying like the toughest dude at the bingo parlor.
Yeah, that's a good chance you're going to lose.
That's also a way to get off to a bad start in prison.
Right, unless you've come from another prison where you were the toughest guy, and we're going for the title of the toughest prison guy.
And what if you are the toughest guy in prison? Don't you get tired of all these fools walking in and swinging on you the first day?
Right. I'd like to be the second toughest guy in prison.
That's right. I got the toughest guy in prison's back.
Yeah.
Right? Well, all right. Let's hope, Juan, we're at an age now. Let's hope that's not where we end up.
No, well,
Or I don't know. Like if we, I guess, what do they gonna put a, well, oh, I guess they could
I
put,
think I would be like Biden, just an elderly, well-meaning man, old man who's just yeah, he don't know what's going
that
on.
was my favorite. Yeah, we're not gonna charge him because, you can only run the country, but we can't, we can't expect him to, that's all. We're still waiting on that. You ever notice these big blowing up stories that come out that, man, this changes everything and oh my goodness. And then we're like weeks down the line and nobody talks about it. Nobody's done squat. They come out and basically say, yeah, best we can tell,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
only pardon he actually signed was for his son. Every other pardon supposedly signed by the guy was a machine. And now we're finding out somebody else was using them, right? And everybody goes, ooh, and then nothing
Nothing.
happens. Well, look, that's what, look. And look, I live in Texas by choice. We moved here 20 something years ago. I love the state. I love the people. But let me tell you something. Texas gets a lot better reputation than we deserve on a lot of things, especially our politics. Our state politics are a joke.
Well, I
Because
mean, all your Democratic leaders left.
yo, and that'll show you though. That's the thing. So Texas is it is a very Republican state. Now you can like that, you can hate that, but it is what it is. Okay. But here's what people figured out along the way. You just gotta, if you're going to win in certain places, you have to be a Republican. You have to put Republican on. But what they do is they find people who aren't Republicans, they ain't conservatives, they're not liberal, they're progressives, run as Republicans with a bunch of money. They get in, and guess what?
Yeah.
That's when you get what's called rhinos, Republican in name only. And that's what we got right now. So Texas, and believe me, if and when the Dems ever take over Texas and they get their chance, they're going to redistrict this place day one. They're going to.
Dude, my dad is in the same congressional district in Louisiana, with people in Shreveport or close to it.
What?
They got a district here that runs like a snake to get a majority minority district.
Right. For those of you who don't know what we're referring to is now to me, voting like districts or precincts, whatever, you ought to look at that map and it ought to look like maybe a cut up pizza, like the pizza they used to serve you at school where they cut it in
square.
squares. Should
Just
be
a square.
Maybe a triangle, or maybe a little bit different if there's a body of water that cuts into it. But a voting district ought to look like that. It ought to be relatively uniform. You look, especially in, hey, call it what it is. New York, Illinois, California, some of these states, man, their voting districts are they whine. They look like a worm.
Illinois, I think, has not one Republican congressional district. And didn't Trump win Illinois or
No,
won
no,
a
no, no. I think
significant outside of Chicago? I think
Right.
won.
Right.
Or anyway, got a lot of votes there, but there's not one district that
We have
reflects
several
that.
states, and I want to say I'd have to pull it up, but I know Massachusetts is one, and there are a couple of other states where, on paper, 35-40% of the population is Republican.
Yeah.
Yet they have zero Republican representatives. All right, because the way it's so anyway, what's happening in Texas is, in Texas supposedly the Republican, they have the governor, the lieutenant governor, the attorney general, they have the Senate, they have the House, and looking at things, and the redistricting they want to do seems to make sense. Now I'm sure people are gonna, they can jump up and down all they
Well,
want.
but is it also part of because Texas is gaining seats because it's gained population?
Correct. Yeah, and people are moving. Texas is going to gain some seats. So they have announced 5, the redistricting, and chances are it would lead to 5 additional Republican seats. Well, you can't have that. So,
Racist.
oh my gosh, we had what's his face? Who's the leader of the House? No, he's not the leader. Gosh darn it, he's the guy up there. Hakeem Jeffries came down to meet with him and how to stop it. But anyway, So there's a special session, and part of what they're supposed to be doing is voting and doing the redistricting. Well, all the Democrat representatives left the state. So there's no quorum. So basically, they have been able, about half of the special session already, to have nothing happen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm sorry. I don't care what side you on. That can't stand. Like if you're elected,
That's like saying, I know they're going to fire me at work.
so I'm just not going to go.
I'm just not going to go.
But you got to keep paying me
Yeah.
and can't do it. Yeah, that's the thing. They should be either lose your seat or at least lose your seniority. Need to be thrown off of whatever committees you're on. Like literally, if you flee and announce it, flee the state.
Yeah, proudly.
Proudly.
Your boy
And,
Beto's funding that.
But here's what's happening. Here's what's happening in Texas. The GOP, including the governor, they're playing a game. They're like, oh, well, we're going to do this and we're going to fine him and we're going to. And it's not, So at the end of the day, however much you think you hate politics and politicians, you don't hate them enough. You don't hate them enough. But yeah, it's the world we're living in, man. I mean, now that we've established, like I said, now that I've joined your decade and we're truly the old white guys talking on podcast. Here's the kicker. Man, you talk about people lost their mind, and it's a Trump move, or whether it's his ideas, he might have read it in a tweet, or, him. He might have heard a commentator on Fox News. What's kind of funny about Trump is he'll grab an idea that has some steam to it and said, hey, let's do that. Well, they announced they want to do another census.
Yeah.
Like, they've been doing them historically every 10 years.
Yeah, they're legally mandated.
Legally mandated every 10.
Constitutionally, I think.
Legally, constitutionally mandated every 10. But there is nothing that says
can't do it every 5.
You can't, or whenever.
Yeah, whenever you want.
And the argument is because they have now proven, and when I say proven, the states themselves that have done this have admitted miscounting and just huge errors in the 2020 census.
Shocking.
So they have come out and said, yeah, it's wrong. And not just wrong, it's wrong way on one side. The Republicans should have had far more seats than they actually. That's kind of funny, right? One of the most important things, one of the most power moves in the country, thereby in the world, is representation in Congress. And they basically come out and say, yeah, we messed that all up. But then want to say, we'll fix it later. But just, we can't because if they do that, and the big one is this, y'all. If ever they say, and I don't even know how you make the argument that it's not, that you don't count non-citizens in the census. And they want to argue that the Constitution or whatever says that you count people. Because they never thought that people, right? That was never going to happen. You didn't have non-citizens by the bajillions.
You want to count the non-citizens? Count them. Just for, tabulation purposes. But don't count them in districting and for how we represent each state.
So that's why it matters, y'all. Even if people don't vote, the fact they're counted, that gets so that area, and that's why the big cities end up being what they are. The big cities have huge non-citizen population.
Yeah.
And the big cities are run by Democrats. So, man, they count. They're very good at counting every breathing human being and a lot that aren't breathing anymore. And that's how it gets apportioned. And so we'll see. And thus concludes Dave and Juan's Why Government Sucks.
20 minutes.
This version of Why Government Sucks. But
well, totally shifting gears. Preseason football started this week, and I watched some of the Saints today. And I'm not a good judge of preseason football and what happens, but based on my judgment, I'm going to be free a lot of Sundays in the coming months.
The understanding, as best I can tell, is the Saints are going to suck.
Yeah,
that's
Their quarterback, the quarterback that they drafted, looked okay. I still don't know if his last name is Show, whatever his last name is. I do now know that he was actually in college longer than I was, which is saying something.
Wow.
He was in
Nice.
college for 7 years.
Good for him. Good for him. Enjoy life, man. Well, I was laughing about this because as I'm getting ready to go to Cleveland, I'm listening to some sports podcast the night before, the morning of, whatever, and they were having a debate talking about the upcoming season, and one was which team in the league was going to have the fewest wins this year, and they were torn between Cleveland and the Saints.
Hey,
I was like, well, there you go. There you go.
Shador got 2 touchdowns the other night.
We saw it, but spare me, man. We were actually having dinner. I was with my wife and my older son. We were having dinner, and the game was on the place we were eating. And I'm like, oh, let's watch it. And yeah, he scored his first touchdown, man. They gave him the ball on the 5-yard line. They fumbled the ball.
Now I also saw memes that said, Cleveland has retired Shador's jersey.
Yeah, because they scored a touchdown on his third possession. They're going to retire his jersey. But you know what? I don't hate on the whatever, man.
Nah, man. It is what it is.
Yeah, do what it is. No, and I like Cleveland so much I couldn't get out of there. I mean,
Stuck again.
Let me just say this, and I guess it's a love hate because I fly United a lot and I have for a long time, but man, they suck. They suck. Gosh, United sucks. It wasn't that way in the past. United used to be a great airlines. Now they suck. It has been one. I'll bet you I've been flying for a few decades, but I bet you in the last, I don't know, 10 years. I rarely ever had a flight later, more than an hour late, and I never I don't think I had a flight canceled in 10 years. I've had
multiple this year.
I'm leaving Cleveland, right? My flight's supposed to leave, and I busted my tail to get there on time because it was the last flight out, direct flight from Cleveland, supposed to leave at around 5:45 or so. Get on the plane, we're loaded up. I'm feeling good. I got exit row, and I'm by myself. So it's just me on the aisle, and I got 2 empty seats next to me. And man, I'll pull out my stuff. I'm like, nice. It's about a 3-hour flight going home. I'm going to relax. I'm going to take out my neck pillow. I'm going to put on a podcast. I'm good to go. We're pulling out, heading toward the runway, and then we kind of stop. And we're sitting there for a few minutes. And I'm not even really paying attention. I'm listening to something. I'm like, we're right, man. We lost, right? We're getting to the runway.
We're taxiing.
Good to go. Then the pilot comes on, tells us that, there's some kind of issue going on right now with the computer system, and they're trying to balance. I don't know what he said they were doing. And I was thinking, that sounds weird. So we've got no estimate right now, but we'll let you know. 30 minutes later, he comes on. Says,
You're still on the plane.
Oh yeah, we're still sitting. We haven't moved. We're off the runways. We're sitting. Right. We're on the plane. You can't move. You're sitting on the plane. All right. Well, I don't have good news, but I don't have bad news. I got no news, whatever. We're going to be serving some waters, and 30 minutes goes by. They take off the seatbelts to let us go to the bathroom if we need to go to the bathroom. We've been sitting over an hour now. And I'm thinking, and I'm trying to ask them, is it this plane or is it system-wide? They don't know. 90 minutes in. So, unfortunately,
I don't think they let them know, so they don't want them to be able to tell you the answer.
Yeah, unfortunately, folks, air traffic is having us return to the gate. Oh, that's when it gets bad because I knew.
Your last flight out.
Okay. We get back there, and I asked right when we got off, I saw one of the pilots. And I said, hey, man, you going to time out? He says, oh, no, me and my partner, we just came on. It's our first flight of the night. I said, what about your crew? I don't know about the crew. The crew had been flying all day. So you know what the crew did? The crew timed out. For those of you that don't know what that means, they limit.
Yeah, they got a certain amount. It's like a union.
That's it. Even and two of the crew lived in Houston. That was their last leg. They were going home. They can't work. We sit there. This is now, I don't know, 7:30, and then they start the lies. Departure at 8:30, departure at 9:30. Then we find out there's a system-wide United is down. Then they got us leaving at like 11, and I'm being offered to rebook and everything, and I'm like, I just want to get home. I end up, and whatever. It's probably not the best financial thing, and I'll work it out with whoever I got to charge or eat. I booked myself another flight in the morning. Like I saw there's only 7 seats left on the 6:30 a.m. flight. Give me that freaking seat. All right. And then I'm waiting. And then they pushed back. We're going to depart at 11 o'clock. And I'm like, no freaking way. They can't find a crew. They're trying to find a crew in Cleveland.
So you now have your flight is not canceled, so you'll take that one if you need to, or
If I need
can.
to. When they got to the part where they were saying a departure of about midnight and there's no signs of we're leaving, and then I'm like, okay, they get it. So I'll book a room at a Hampton Inn. I go, now it wasn't a party for me. I got back to the hotel. I got to a hotel at
Right, you're getting a couple hours of sleep.
about
now.
11 o'clock. I take it back. I bailed at about 11 once they showed me whatever. And I wasn't asleep till after midnight. I had to be up at 4 in the morning
Yeah.
to get a 4:30 shuttle back to the airport. But the flight I was on, and I felt, man, I so felt for the people that had no options. There were a couple of older people there. There was a couple with, an infant. There was a family with young kids.
Were they still delaying the flight when you got back?
They took off. They finally found a crew. They took off at 1 in the morning. Got to Houston because you gain an hour coming back.
Yeah.
I think they landed in Houston around like 2:45 in the morning. Bro, have you ever been in an airport at 2:45 in the
Yeah,
morning?
ain't nobody there.
I don't care what you're dealing with because nobody's parked at the airport anymore. Either the shuttle, it's hard to get the shuttle. You gotta.
Right, not getting a cab or a rental car.
So yeah. So United, they'll suck. I mean, and it was only them. It was only I saw a flight for New Jersey take off, a flight for Denver take off, and we sat there because we didn't have a crew. Now I'm there the next morning. I'm in Cleveland Airport at, I think my flight was supposed to board at 5:45, I think. At AM. I'm sitting there around 5:15, 5 whatever. If I get up, we wait. Everybody's there. We got a plane. We got 2 pilots. We got 2 flight attendants. We're delayed because we don't have a full crew. Dude, I wanted to throw stuff at people. We're waiting on and then thankfully,
What about those people that timed out last night?
no freaking joke. And thankfully to some young lady, they called her to come in early, but we were probably only maybe 15 minutes late leaving.
Man, you should have stepped up. Said, look, I've been on enough flights. How hard can this be?
I did that the day before, and man, a dude got uppity with me. There was a dude in one of these yellow jackets. He was in charge of something. And I said it. I was standing with a bunch of frequent flyers and everybody. And to their credit, I was with some people that were pretty good mood. I mean, what you going to do? Actually taking care of, there was an elderly couple. And man,
Yeah.
I was frustrated with them at first because it makes no sense. Like, they've got them sitting in bulkhead. Fine. They got room. Why do you make these poor people board first? Juan, it took them with help, forever. And I'm just saying, like, your seats are there. Put their bags on for them. Don't make these poor people, right?
Yeah,
they
piss
were
off everybody behind them.
They were not
They're
very
moving slow.
mobile. But while they were, was sitting there, some of the guys I was talking to, and I did it a couple of times, would go over and, hey, can we get you like the water? That's when you know too that you're settling in. Is when Continental, when United rolls out water carts and snacks, and it's like oh. Then they hit you with the $15 voucher. Of course, all the restaurants are closed. So I took my $15, walked into some shop, and bought like Starburst, Skittles. That was my
Popped up
late,
for your short night of rest.
my late night snack. But but made it back. So hey, thanks United. Thanks for. I'll try to write a column about it this week to yeah, here's what it is.
So
Something.
I saw for the first time in my life something in church today that I had never seen before.
All right.
Just before service started, I look across the aisle and there's a lady who has slid her shoes off and she is basically rubbing lotion on her feet. Sitting there in church.
A woman in church rubbing lotion on her feet.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we're Catholics. I mean, they wash feet like once a year, but that's
Well,
not quite the same thing.
I don't know. But then the part that grossed me out even more was once she was finished with the lotion on her feet, I guess she didn't have anything to wipe her hands with, so she just rubbed the lotion in on her hands from her feet.
Y'all don't do peace be with you, do you?
No.
Okay. I'm not shaking your hand. Nice, Juan. Nice.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not gonna.
lovely.
I'm not gonna say anything. I don't know. I don't think they do that in the churches I go to. But hey,
It almost disgusted me so much that I couldn't eat my donuts.
what this? It's true. I forget. You're of that denomination that gets to eat powdered donuts while services are going on.
I eat them before.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, you got to hear the word of the Lord with a full stomach.
That's right, man. I get that 30 minutes before service start just
As
so I can
opposed
get.
to us, man, we're Catholics. We're not supposed to eat. We're supposed to fast before. Like back in the old days. That's why there were almost ever like no evening masses, because on the day you took communion, you weren't supposed to eat. You're supposed to fast until then. So people in the old days didn't want to be fasting until 5 or 6 o'clock at night.
Yeah, no, it's just an hour, right?
I think it's an hour, and then
Yeah, let's be honest. You get to church 15 minutes early, you're covered.
my wife will get like annoyed with me sometimes with walking out. I'm like, I hadn't eaten, I'm hungry. I just, you can't eat before church. I'm like, yeah, I want to play that game. It's like, the priest is going to talk for a long time. I am comfortable that it'll be, I think it's,
Right, right.
I don't think it's 60 minutes before the start of mass. I think it's
No,
60
60
minutes.
minutes for communion.
And if I'm running close, I can just go get in the back of the line.
Dude, I can remember when I went to Catholic Mass, looking forward to communion because I was that hungry.
Oh,
Like, I
dude.
got to get something to eat.
Dude, I do remember years ago though they started using almost more like it wasn't like a crust, but it was and it wasn't a cookie, but once
More of a
one
wafer.
yeah, sorta. I don't know. It was more there's a little more substance to it. I don't know if that was a trick along the way. I don't know who was doing that, but I do. It's one of those memories, Juan. It could have happened when I was 10. It could have happened when I was like 40. I don't quite remember. But there you go. That fits the theme of tonight's show. Getting old, stuff you
Yeah.
forget, stuff you would never believe. When the old people when you were growing up would say, "Oh, when was that?" That was either
either either World War II or
yeah.
Vietnam.
Let me think. It was last week, or it might have been about 7 years ago. Uh, and you'd be like, "How are you losing your mind?" And then because when you're young, dude, you got no reference.
Huh?
It's you ain't been on the planet long enough to have big
Right,
long gaps.
right. You got a lot of stuff going on in your brain.
A lot of stuff going on, and now it's like, man, I don't know. Just
That's
of
why
course
there's not much room left.
we're a little different now, though. Really, for the past like at least the last 25 years, I can pull up email from 25 years. That's a funny walk through memory lane, going back, and it's weird. I haven't done it in a long time, but a couple of years ago I started pulling up because I've always even nobody liked that I did this, but even when I was working for companies with my official email, I mostly used my own personal.
Okay.
It used to be a Yahoo account. It
Uh-huh.
was a Gmail account. Because I don't know, I didn't like. I've never been a trusting guy, Juan. I never wanted the IT because I knew the IT people that worked at our various companies, and there was some chews sometimes. And I always felt like, man, they're gonna be like looking at my. I know they're gonna be looking at my personal information. So I'm like, I'm gonna make them at least try to figure out how to hack my Yahoo account on my. So I've been doing business on my own personal stuff for 20 something years, but I'll go back and pull email I sent to people and I think, boy, I was sucking up there, man. Oh man, I was so full of it when I was. Whew, look
I
at
don't
that
think
pitch.
I've got old email, but not that old.
Oh, dude. I can probably pull up a picture of when my oldest son Jesse was born almost 27 years ago. I took it with a Sony Mavica camera that had it
Had
had
a
a
floppy
floppy
disk,
disk,
man. That's right.
and we had a dial-up internet in the
Yeah.
hospital, and I was able to send the picture of Jesse probably like 1 or 2 hours old.
You could fit like 15 pictures on that
There
disk.
you go. I've still
Uh,
got one. I mean, obviously you can't use it anymore, but I still have a Sony Mavic. I'm like, man,
I was talking the other day with the younguns at work, so I've still got my original iPhone. Um, and that's the new guy says, like what, like an iPhone 3?
they
I said, no, like an iPhone 1.
didn't come with numbers.
He said, there was a 1? Why would you
Well,
think
yeah,
there
there
was
was
a
a
3?
one, dummy. Of course.
So, but I had a cell phone that had a camera. It was a flip phone before iPhones and everything,
Yep.
but you couldn't do anything with the picture. And it was so small. I mean, there was no way to send it anywhere. And it was so small and terrible that it wouldn't have mattered if you could have.
I'm trying to think of how I did that somewhere. I do have a picture I took with a flip phone once, and I used it in a presentation. It was not because it was a really funny picture, but it was really poor quality. I can't
Right, right.
remember.
It, like if, at full size, it was about a half inch by a half inch.
And now, man, I'm taking pictures, I'm cropping, I'm lightening, I'm doing whatever. You're taking stuff out. Like you got a professional studio
Yeah.
in your hand.
Well, that's what. So the same guy, he was a podcaster, actually big time sports podcaster, so knows a lot of the Saints. Um, and so he was saying, "How do y'all do your podcast?" I said, "We just on Zoom." And he said, "Well, do you have a digital SLR camera?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, you could hook that up." I said, "But why?" Yeah,
Why?
I'm not sure. Yeah,
Dude, I'm doing this on a MacBook. And
yeah, that's it. My
period.
camera on my MacBook is just plenty fine.
There you go. Hey, we're at an age, Juan. We don't want crystal clear pictures. We want a little bit of, little bit of fuzz.
Yeah, you want to hide some of the stuff, man.
Exactly. You want people to look like kind of good, not like, oh,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Didn't mean to get up close on you on there, man. But all right. You know what, man? The breakfast buffet
It's laid out.
is laid out there, guys. There it is. Have at it, y'all. Have at it what you want. It's time to push the button. Get on out of here. See if any of this stuff stuck to the magic tape in the sky. Y'all, if you want to reach us, not hard to do. It's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com.
You can find us here every week,
You did it.
every day, in fact.
Pretty much, y'all. I think, what is this, 219? I think this is
I lost count
I'm
somewhere.
pretty
around.
sure this is
Yeah.
number 219. Y'all, come on. Well, you bored? Go find it. It's on a page. It's there. I can go back now. We've done these things. I can go back now and listen to stuff that I'll remember that we said it, but I don't remember how. Like, you know what I'm saying? You hear it and go, oh,
I said, man, that's funny.
I didn't know we talked about it. That's always bad too. When you hear something, you go, I'm surprised how funny that was.
Yeah, my wife will listen to stuff a week later and say, "What do y'all mean about such and such?" I said, "What are you talking about?"
Oh, I did it the other day as we're getting ready for my party, and I'm outside working I'm grilling and boiling and doing whatever, and I'm coming inside. My wife's prepping stuff inside in the kitchen, and I could hear like that sounds like Juan. And I walk into the kitchen, and yeah, she's playing a podcast from like 2 weeks ago.
You thought I showed up to surprise you?
Oh, I didn't. I didn't think that, but I'm like, hey, what's Juan doing? But all good. Hey, every week, y'all, we tell you it's not a hint, suggestion, or subtle implication. It is a
It's a
freaking
freaking mandate, dude.
mandate. Live your best life. Live your best life. Hoping you're having a great day. I had a great day. It's a birthday. Made it.
Had good food.
Yeah, that was yesterday. I had some leftovers today, but
All right.
been a great weekend. And my goal is tomorrow, make it better. Make it better. But if today wasn't a fantastic day for you, hey, good news
There's
is
always a new one, new
that's right.
shot.
The good news is the bar's a little low. Get over that bar. Get over that bar for tomorrow. Get back up and do it again, Buttercup. You can do it. We'll get together next week, compare notes, and see what is worth talking about. All right. Until then, you guys have a fantastic one. Be careful out there. Love you, bro.
Back at you, man. So I did something for the first time ever today, and I guarantee you, we've talked about almost everything humanly possible on this podcast. This is a topic we've never broached. So the people that we go like that I went last week to and had drinks and stuff are my mother-in-law's friends. My late mother-in-law, if you're brand new to this podcast, and she was a diver, and they together went diving every year in Roatan. If I'm saying that right, I don't know, somewhere Honduras area. Where they're going next weekend. So my mother-in-law was cremated. So they did this same thing with her husband. They took some of his ashes and let them go on the reef where they dive.
Okay.
Well, we didn't have her ashes separated into anything. So I basically had to shovel some out of the bag that they're in and put them in the little vials.
You did that.
I did it. Was trying to be nice, and I thought that'd be traumatic on my wife. And then as I'm doing it, I'm on the island in the kitchen, and I'm sitting here saying, "Please don't let the air conditioner kick on."
You win. That's a first.
Yeah, yeah. So then my wife and daughter weren't here when I was doing it, so I took pictures of 3 vials sitting on the island and texted it to them and captioned it. Mama's ready for her trip.
You always were in marketing, dude.
There you go, dude. That's some creative copywriting right there.
It's over. Go home.